Hey guys, it's the time for the Deep Spearfishing Encyclopedia. This is part 6. And just a quick tip. Have you watched this first fish from the introduction sequence, from the intro? I was going very slowly and the fish was just waiting. This is the real speed, there is no slow motion. I made a test. I thought, okay, how slow can you go and how close to the fish can you get? And trust me, if you are just using your fingers to crawl towards the fish, you can come very, very close. They don't get scared. Anyway, this is the part number 6 and we have a very sensitive topic to speak about. Today we will look at health and training. Yes, your mind is already booming with ideas. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I will share my perspective. I will tell you what works and what doesn't, and the judgment is of course up to you. The video is down to deep spearfishing standards. You know the routine. I'm not giving you too many answers because then you just forget them. Rather, I show you the direction, and then if you do some research, you're gonna find your own answers. So the first dive is a great example of why you should be in a good diving conditions or good diving shape. I strongly believe that being able to dive to 50 doesn't necessarily mean that you should dive to 50 every day. However, if I know that I can dive to 50 meters and if I'm capable at 50 meters, once I go to 30, if some shit hits the fan, if something goes wrong, I know I have a cushion. I have this extra capacity that I can push and play with. And this is the reason why you should pursue the knowledge and why you should train and get better. About health, I mean, we spoke a lot about health in Deep Spearfishing Encyclopedia, and we spoke about not pushing your limits, we spoke about being gentle to your body, we spoke about diving with a partner and all this blah 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 blah. This is of course very important, but today I want to focus on 3 things: hydration, nutrition and rest. Let's start with hydration. Hydration is the point number 1, or rather dehydration. We'll look at dehydration. Dehydration is when your body, or when you are losing liquids and nutrients from your body. So the minerals, salts, electrolytes. Look, our bodies are mostly made of water, so if this level drops, your system, your body, it breaks down. A few things that can go wrong if you don't drink enough. You get tired easier, or you get tired earlier. The minerals and oxygen take much longer to reach to the cells and the muscles which really need them. And another point would be decompression sickness. If the blood becomes thick due to dehydration, the bubbles, they form inside the blood. And you can Google decompression sickness, it's not very pretty. Point number 2, nutrition. Look guys, I'm a freediving instructor, so I have to find the ways how I can explain complex stuff in simple terms. So when we speak about nutrition, think of a car. If you want to take your car to a long journey, can you go there without gas? I don't think you can. The body is the same system. If there is no energy, you cannot take it for a journey. So please, maybe your stomach is very soft and you feel bad if you eat right before the diving. However, you can eat 2 hours before you dive, or you can have a very good dinner the night before. So think about those little things. Point number 3 is rest, and rest is like mega important. I come from a competitive swimming background and we've had a lot of training. However, most of the progress is done when you rest, and this is like it's a fact. So do you really need to go 4 days into the sea? I don't think so. 1 day, yeah, you like it. 2 days, it's fun. 3 days, you become tired. 4th day, it's just, it doesn't work. So if you go diving 3 times a week, leave some time between your diving days to rest. It's the best idea, honestly, trust me. Okay, and this is the fun part. The health is finished. Now it's the training. So there are thousands of different myths of the proper training you have to do for freediving or spearfishing. Just one thing I want to start with, all right? In freediving, just like most other sports, everything starts and stops in the head. So you start with your mind and you end with your mind. So regardless of the training that you do, if your mindset is a bit not right, then the training kind of goes to waste. So keeping this in our right mind, let's proceed to the training, or how you can actually become better. For example, if we speak about aerobic training, I love aerobic stuff. So for example, I swim, or I run now, and I run, well, I didn't yet run a marathon, but I run around 15-16K, and I just love the feeling. But yeah, you can swim, which is very good. You can run, you can do whatever you want. There are different types to aerobic training. There are different levels. If you want to train your total VO2 max, then there is a certain running or certain intervals you should do. If you just run for maintenance of your physical shape, it's another running. But even if you just walk in the morning with those old ladies on the street, it's better. It's a great idea, and you're gonna meet new people, so it's also good. However, now we're moving to the point when I think it's the most important, truly important, mental training. Look, just like I said, the brain is the most important thing. So, meditating, visualizations, doing some statics at home and picturing how you're actually in the water and how you dive and how you feel the water, how you kick and how you equalize and how you shoot the fish and you come back up. It builds a great connection in your mind. First of all, the body goes through the physical changes, high CO2. On the other side, on the second side, the mind builds the experience to actually being in the water. So when you're in the water, the body is like, oh, I've done this before. I know how to do it. And this is the stuff that I would strongly suggest. You know, spearfishing is very mental sport, so you have to be relaxed, you have to focus properly, and you have to be very gentle with everything you do under the water. And honestly, the best training for this, well, yeah, this is the best training. ApneaWalking. Have you heard of ApneaWalking? It's a very cool idea, but it's quite radical if you push it, and you can black out on the street and just think about the people around you and how they're gonna react, like, oh, it's a dead man. But yeah, it's a good thing to do, so you can give it a try. If you wanna take it to even a deeper level, okay, I was speaking with a good friend of mine from Limassol, and he suggested, for example, going to the pool and making this spearfishing training. So for example, you hold your breath, you swim 25 meters, you dive down, you make a little static, and then you come up, and then you swim 25 meters back. It imitates your spearfishing routine, but it's quite tough. And yeah, you should have a buddy for something like that. Yeah, a few more things you should consider. When I started out, it was around 6 years ago. When I started out, I watched a lot of videos on YouTube and I was like, holy crap, how do those people dive to 30 meters? How can they hunt fish? Why I can only hold my breath for 1 minute? So every day there was this try and error. Nobody told me I needed to equalize, so first few months I was just there without equalization and my ears would hurt, but I would be like, ah, it's okay, just push it. And then someone was like, Anwar, you know? So it was a new step. But the philosophy is simple. The philosophy is every step, every day you should make one step forward. Whether it's training, whether it's researching your equipment, whether it's improving your equipment, whether it's meeting new people who can somehow contribute to your hobby or your life, you should continuously focus on this constant development, because this is the thing that really counts.